Welcome to the another session, which is Python inheritance, and it is part 6 of module 6, which is classes and OOPs. So here we will be discussing the most interesting topic, that is inheritance. So before I actually jump into the or move on to the Python inheritance in practice, I will take you to the a small theoretical or some journey where I can explain these inheritances better way. So I have taken one example. Basically, around the world, the Sanatani Rishis and Sanatanis claim that the source of this living entities or whatever universe we have, okay, present in which universe we are here. So all these universes, the source of all those universes are so Garbo Dakshai Vishnu. He is the source of all those universes. From him all those universes have come. Now, so basically universe 1, universe 2, universe 3, universe 4, these are the different universes, and there are hell number of universes. So similarly, even science started claiming that now it is now actually we are in a parallel universe. It's not just only universe that we are here, like that we have plenty of universes. So that's what even scientists started claiming. Okay, that's fine. So different universes come from only one person, only one entity, that is Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. And then so these each universe 1, universe 2, universe 3, universe 4, for them they inherit all attributes and behaviors only from one entity, that is Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. So that's why these universes are all called single inheritances or single inherited entities or single inherited classes. So universe 2, if you take example, it only inherits from Garbhodakashai Vishnu. So that's the reason this is a single inheritance. Now each universe will further have Brahma. For universe 1, Brahma 1, universe 2, Brahma 2, universe 3, Brahma 4, 3 and 4 for universe 4. Now, if you see this, it is a multi-level inheritance, because this Brahma inherits from universe 2, and then this universe 2 inherits from here. So basically it is a multi-level inheritance. So he will have the qualities of both. He will have state, he will have attributes and behaviors or methods of both the entities, that is the source one and then single inherited one. So that's why it's called multi-level inheritance. Now after that, uh, this Brahma has created, like humans have come from this Brahma. So now if you take Brahma 2 itself, and this guy is specific to one universe. For example, if you take this earth universe where we are, so human 1, human 2, human 3, there are plenty of numbers. So all inherit attributes and methods from this Brahma 2. Okay, so that's why, so these, now from that, let's consider human 3 and human 4. If human 3 is a male and human 4 is female, and they have created one a new person, one a child human. So now this child human will have this multiple inheritance. If you take only this one, he will have a multiple inheritance, because he will inherit attributes and methods from human 3, that's men, that's father, as well as human 4, that is woman, that is mother. So the child will inherit from both. So that's why it is called multiple inheritance. Then if you put everything in, then what we get is hierarchical inheritance. So I hope you got the general understanding of what inheritance is. Now we will look into textbook definitions of inheritance. Then we will do a practical coding of the same example, that from Garbo Dakashai Vishnu till child human. Okay. So now Python inheritance. So here we have discussed earlier single inheritance. When a child inherits from only one parent class, it is called single inheritance. Multiple inheritance. When a child class inherits from multiple parent classes, it's called multiple inheritances. Multi-level inheritance. When we have a child and a grandchild relationship, that I have shown now. Garbo Dakashai Vishnu, then universe, then Brahma. That is multi-level. Okay, so now the whole point of our namespace tool, like the class statement, is to support name inheritance. This section expands on some of the mechanisms and the roles of attributes inheritance in Python. Inheritance provides code reusability. It is a fantastic advantage. Reusability to the program, because we can use an existing class to create a new class instead of creating it from scratch every time. A derived class can inherit base class by just mentioning the base in bracket after the derived class name. I will show you how that looks. Of course, we have done it so many times by far, but still I will show you again. So this is our derived class, and it's supposed to get it attributes and methods from somewhere else. That's our super class. So now class, derived class, and then you will use parenthesis. Inside that you will write base class, name of the base class or super class. Okay. So, and then after that you will have a class suite or blueprint, whatever blueprint is there. So now this derived class will be derives or inherits attributes and methods from a base class or super class. I think it's clear now. How do we inherit classes? How a derived class inherits properties from base class? Using this syntax, using call option or parenthesis. Inside that you have to mention the base class or super class to be inherited. Then we have, there are different types of inheritances, out of which multi-level inheritance is one, and multi-level inheritance is achieved when a derived class inherits another derived class. There is no limit on the number of levels up to which the multi-level inheritance is achieved in Python. Example, you take Brahma, universe, and then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. It is different levels. So here is one example. We have a class 1 that is a base class and it has its blueprint. Then class 2, here it is. Class 2 is inherited from class 1 and it has its own blueprint. Then class 3 has inherited from class 2. It has its own blueprint. This is how it follows different levels. So it can go up to any levels, but this is how multi-level inheritance looks. So then see, class 1 is our base class, and class 2 has inherited from class 1, and then class 3 has inherited from class 2, and so on and so forth it goes on. Then what we have is multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance provides us the flexibility to inherit base classes in the child class. So basically, it provides a flexibility to inherit multi-base classes. Multi-base classes. I will show you how it works. So class base 1, it will have its blueprint. Class base 2, it will have its blueprint, and class and so on base n. We have n number of base classes, and finally we have a derived class which actually inherits from each base class, and these base classes have no connection with another base classes. They are completely independent and individual and not dependent on anybody else, and they are not connected. So that is the difference between a multi-level and then multiple. I will show you in a pictorial way so that it will be much clear, much clearful, much clearful. So derived class, and then we'll take three base classes, and then so these base 1, base 2, base 3. So if you see, this derived class is inheriting from base 1, base 2, base 3, but these base classes have no connection at all with each other. So that's why it is called multiple base classes. Multiple base class inheritance or multiple inheritance. Whereas in multi-level inheritance, each class has connection with the other. Each class has been inherited from other. So that's why it is levels. It is like grandfather, father, then child, grandchild. That is multi-level, whereas multiple is different. So then finally what we see is the is subclass method. This method is used to check the relationships between the specified classes. It returns true if the first class is the subclass of the second class and false otherwise. We will actually do this. We'll check this using Jupyter notebook. Let's jump into the Jupyter notebook right now. Okay, where it is, here it is. Okay, so Python inheritance, the first one is we will write source class or base class or super class. I'm just using these words interchangeably, but base class I literally means this is the beginning of that classification or categorization. There is no beginning to it. Okay, so that's why I just call it as a source class also. Now for us, our source begins from Garbhodakshay Vishnu. So that's why I'll show you that one more time so that it will be much clear. See, this is our source. I'm just putting this example. So this is what we are going to code now. Okay, our source class is Mahavishnu, so that's why the name of the source class is Mahavishnu, and basically I have given a blueprint how does that Mahavishnu object will be. So I have used init constructor, a parameterized constructor with almost 4 parameters: name, form, energy, and spread. And then I have attached each name, each parameter with the instance attributes. So with this we have constructed attribute form. So now we will add one method, action or behavior to this class, that is this. It is a super class, and here Mahavishnu, if he is the source class, then universe, he the universe which is directly inherits from Mahavishnu, so there is, it doesn't inherit anything from anybody else, any other class. So that's the reason we call it as a single inheritance. We have defined it, single inheritance. When a child class inherits from only one parent class, it is called a single inheritance. For us, universe inherits only from Mahavishnu class, so that's the reason it is a single inheritance. So I have added a constructor which saying universe class is a singly inherited. Then okay, that's fine. That's my mistake. Okay, so now that's our single inheritance. So let's create an object, because inheritance universe is a class. It is a child class or subclass, a single inherited subclass. But we have to create an object. But what is that object? We have plenty of universes in this world. Not world, sorry. So here we have plenty of universes. So in that we are in one universe. So I'll take some example universe 1 as an object. It's a real entity, and I'll use universe class to create that. So now universe class is singly inherited, and universe 1 is my object. You can find out universe is class, and let's check is subclass method to check whether universe is subclass of Mahavishnu or not. Okay, let me check it. Yes, it is. It is singly inherited and only inherited from Mahavishnu class only. That's a source class. So we have covered source class or base class, then a single inheritance. Now we will move into multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. Okay. In multi-level inheritance, we have discussed each universe will have a Brahma in itself. So that's the reason. So the third level is Brahma. So basically Brahma inherits from universe. And universe inherits from Mahavishnu class. So that's the reason it has become a multi-level inheritance. I'll just go back to the picture again. You see here, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, universe 2 and Brahma 2. So Brahma is a class. So in that, so this is a multi-level inheritance. I have written a blueprint, and let me create an object with the Brahma class. Brahma class, because for every universe there will be a Brahma. That's the reason. So Brahma 1 is one object, Brahma 2 is in another object. These are real entities. These are really existing entities. So now Brahma 1 is equals to Brahma. So I will execute. So this is Brahma class is multi-level inherited. Then let's check, and we'll check the using subclass method. We'll check whether this is a multi-level or not. Let's check whether Brahma is subclass of universe. Yes. Whether Brahma is subclass of Vishnu. Yes. And we'll check whether Vishnu universe is subclass of. Yes, it is all true. So now it is proven that multi-level inheritance is following different levels. Now here Brahma, universe and Mahavishnu is a multi-levelly inherited. Then what we have is multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance is when we have a child and grandchild. Sorry. What we have done on top is a multi-level inheritance when we have a grandchild, a child relationship. So that we have seen. Whereas a multiple inheritance, when a child class inherits from multiple parent classes or base classes, it's called multi-level inheritance. For that, I have taken the following example. If you see, if you go back to the same example, here I have a man, a human 3 and human 4. These are real objects. In fact, these are real objects. When these two real objects come together and make a new object, that's a child object. So this is called a multiple inheritance, because this guy will inherit from both separately. And let's consider these are from the two different places, so they don't have any connection, they haven't inherited commonly anything from anybody. Like that, we'll consider just for this example. So now class male and class female, and we'll create those two classes, and then in it we will add, this is a human male human class and female human class, and then finally we'll make a multi-levelly multiple inherited class, that is child from male as well as female. These are two separately, not independently being classes. So let me create a child object ch. You can give any name. You can give Johnny, Poppy, PP, Moppy, Goppy. It is all up to you, because we are having such kind of names only now. So okay, then this is the child human class, which is inherited from both female and male. So that's how inheritance works. So we can just check whether child is subclass of male or not. It is yes. And female and male, if you check the connection between female and male, it is false. That's what I am saying. That's what I'm trying to tell you, and I'm trying to convey it to you. Female and male are not at all connected. So they are separately, they are independent. Whereas child is connected to both. So that is called a multiple inheritance. When you put all those things together, what you get is an hierarchical inheritance. So with this, we have covered our inheritance session, which is part 6 of module 6, which is classes and loops. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. Keep liking it, keep subscribing it, keep watching it, and keep spreading the word to everybody so that everybody can benefit out of it. Thank you, and see you again in another session.